In front of me today, we have the holy grail of all crate engines. This right here is an NOS. Yes, New Old Stock, never been run, 1966 Ford 427 single overhead cam engine, or better known by Ford enthusiasts as the Cammer. Before we dive into this NOS 427 single overhead cam, let's talk a little bit about how the Cammer came about. In 1964, Chrysler was dominating the ovals with the 426 Hemi. Ford quickly had to come up with a way to combat the 426 Hemi, and in doing so, created what they called the 90-day wonder, which is the Cammer as we see it today. After a little bit of testing, Bill France and NASCAR banned all single overhead cam engines, leaving this engine really no place to go. Ford built an estimated 500 of these engines, and they had to find some place to use them. They would sell them at dealerships, and many drag racers such as Don Perdone, Sneaky Pete Robinson, Connie Coletta, and later on, Fast Eddie Sharpman and Dino Don Nicholson used this engine, making it so famous. This engine right here is revered as the baddest motor to ever come out of Detroit, making over 650 horsepower on dual Ford carburetors. What we see today is actually how they came from the factory, from the crate, which is a single 4 C5 AF 9510 BV carburetor. Now that you know a little bit about how the Cammer came about, let's talk about this NOS 427 single overhead cam engine in front of me. As you see it today is exactly how it came in the crate, with all of its barn width parts, and it still retains all of its original tags. The first tag that we're going to talk about is the inspection tag from Ford. This says OK on it, and also has the serial number 357. The next tag we're going to talk about is the shipping tag. This one says it's going to Holman & Moody, and again has the serial number 357 attached to it. Down here is the Holman & Moody tag. This has the date it was received, 10/10/66, and again has the serial number 357. Behind these tags is one of the reasons these engines are so unique. This has a huge timing chain cover, and below that is a 7-foot timing chain that runs these single overhead cams. Up top here, we've got a Holley 780 CFM carburetor, and this carburetor is a C5AF 9510 BV carburetor. This carburetor retains all of its original plating, still has all of its original ink stampings, as you can see, and again retains its original tag. You can see that it's a Le Mans carburetor, dual intakes, and below that you're going to see an aluminum high-rise intake. The engineering number to this intake is C6AE 9424J. Here we've got an Autolite distributor, C6AF 12127AZ. This is the distributor that's found on all late Cammer engines, and here we even have the original high-performance Ford plug wires dated first quarter of 1966, so we know they're original to this engine. Out here we've got magnesium valve covers with painted fins, and again you can see the 427 single overhead cam right there on them. Again, this engine has all its born with parts, once in a lifetime find, and when we got the opportunity to buy this, we hopped all over it because you just don't find them like this.